Hello, friends. So it has been a very long time, so I thought we should do a little catch up. So, after a really long break on YouTube, I just kind of feel like I can be back in this space again. It's been so long. I feel like I've gotten kind of like a new rhythm and routine working for me and my family. And so last time we talked, I had just had Franklin, and I was talking about my birth story, and now he is 9 going on 10 months. How on earth? So these are some clips that you're seeing right now when I was just 4 months postpartum. So this is some old footage, but I wanted to use this up. I think I was supposed to be filming like a day in the life or something like that, but this is what ended up happening 9 months later, or I guess however many, 4, 5, 6 months later. After this has been filmed, I'm finally getting around to it. So let's just say that when these clips were filmed, I was still in the very height and thick of it all. My husband and I, went from having 0 children all the way to 3 children within 2 years. Like, I think it ended up being 20 months after I counted. And so, I mean, needless to say, we were tired. They were some of the hardest months and, 20 months of our lives, but honestly, some of the very best and the sweetest that I'll always remember, too. And so, when I look back on these last 9 months and like this catch up video, I just like remember all the hard things and the sweet things. And so some of the hard things of this time since having Frank have been caring for 2 babies at the same time. And oh my gosh, I don't even know how moms with twins and other multiples do it. It's by God's grace alone, honestly. And they usually don't like sharing me. And so, that's been extremely hard. With early mornings, especially, my husband goes to work at 4:30 in the morning. And at the very, very beginning, when Frankie was just an infant, I mean, I suppose he's still an infant until 1, right? I don't know. But either way, when he was like a newborn, my husband would have to leave at 4:30, and oftentimes Olive, our daughter, would either just be waking up or him leaving would wake her up or something. You know, she was just a terrible sleeper back then. She would wake up and then I would be on the floor with 2 crying babies and crying myself because it was just a really, really hard season. And once the sun came up, things got a little bit better. But usually those super wee early hours of the morning were just the toughest thing for me. Speaking of Olive, her sleep was terrible. Her skin was terrible. Her eczema was just like awful. And so I think that probably had something to do with her terrible sleep. But anyways, poor girl. She's gotten a lot better in many different aspects since then. Other things that were hard during this time were just like unlimited piles of laundry and piles of dishes, as I'm sure any other family knows. That's what goes down when you're feeding and clothing your kids. That's just a part of it. Tons of laundry, tons of dishes, and I felt like it never stopped. Of course, being postpartum, this is my first time being postpartum, so if you don't know, my first is adopted, second is on her way to being adopted. And so this is my first time being postpartum with Frankie. And so with postpartum comes just, I felt like I smelled all the time. And of course, all the other postpartum things, your body's still healing. I'm still tired and like falling asleep nursing him during the day. And oh my gosh, the whole thing. He was a bit of a clingy baby, still kind of is. It's my Velcro baby, but I would never complain about it. I honestly love it most of the time. There are only a couple times where I'm like, okay, but I'm really trying to do something. Like I'm cooking this bacon that's splattering all over, and there's no way that you could be on me. Very few times that I'm like, all right, Velcro baby, this is tough. Anyhow, let's talk about the best parts of these last 9-ish, 10 months that have gone down. It definitely goes without saying, but there have been amazing things too. Baby snuggles, of course. So if any of you have a newborn or a baby yourself, you know that the baby snugs are just the sweetest and the best. Kai, our oldest, he is 3.5, almost 4 actually. In November, he'll be 4. He is so sweet, learning so many things and talking up an absolute storm. He's genuinely hilarious and really fun to be around. I love that I have somebody that I can talk to now during the day. The 2 babies, are small, and sometimes I'm like halfway losing my mind, and I'm able to talk to Kai, and it's great. He's a little friend, and it's really fun. Other best things about this time have been just like saying no to a lot of things. And that sounds funny that that's on my best list, like best things list. But yeah, it like produced such a slow life and just room for the absolute utmost important things. And I've never had such a home-centered life, like routine and situation, until now. And it's honestly been really good, and I feel like has shifted my perspective with a lot of things. So yeah, it's been really nice. And because of that, I've been able to watch my kids grow. I stay at home, obviously, full time, if you haven't caught that drift yet. I do stay at home, and I'm able to watch them grow, and I get to see literally everything, every milestone, every little thing they're learning. And I mean, I just don't think it gets much better than that. Let me talk about how I've managed, because I've definitely not done this all by myself. There is no way. I have the world's most helpful husband. Let's just start with him, because shout out to my husband. He is so helpful and so servant-hearted. He, like I said, goes to work at 4:30 in the morning, and he's home by about lunch every day, which is, I know, not normal at all for most people, but he still works when he gets home. So he's still like answering emails and phone calls and all the things. And so, anyways, he is constantly busy and, working super hard, yet he comes home and he is able to be on for us. He usually is scooping a baby or 2 out of my hands and letting me go to the bathroom in peace, or just entertaining them for a second while I finish whatever it is that I'm doing. And he does so much. He does more than what he should, honestly. He just comes home and he's cleaning and cooking with us and entertaining the kids, and it's great. Yeah, super thankful for him. We also have had a nanny during this time, which has just been a absolute miracle for our family. So she's been great. We have known her from our church and Bible study for years, and then it just worked out that she could also nanny. And I'm always home when she's here, but it's just been great to have an extra pair of hands and help me just like manage and get all the things done. And it's just been wonderful to have her. So I know not everybody gets that. And yeah, I just know that I'm super fortunate to have her. Family is another way that we've managed. My mom came and stayed with me for a month after I had Frankie. It would, I don't think I would have survived. Honestly, I don't think I would have survived without that. Bobby's mom also came and stayed with us for a week after my mom had left. So we just we had a lot of hands on deck, and I think this is how God wanted it, honestly. I think this is how he intended for it to be, just like for the church family and our family to come around and just help us get it done, because these early years, man, these are not a joke. This is some tough work. Um, anyhow, I guess I've got a couple more things on my how I managed, and it was let's see, my next one was some girls from my church. It's just been nice to reach out to them and text them about different, whatever it may be. Hey, my baby's doing this, or my toddler has a fever, my blah, blah, blah. What do I do? Or have you experienced this? And it's just been so good to have that encouragement and help from them. And obviously, the Word of God. I should have started with that. Just the Bible has been extra sweet during this time. Anytime I get a chance to actually sit down and read it, which usually is at night when all the kids go to sleep. Oh my gosh, I'm laughing at myself throwing all these toys on the screen. It's all good. It's got to get picked up somehow. Anyhow, yeah, the Bible and the Lord has delivered me through this time, and I knew he would, but man, I'm so glad he did. So anyhow, life is just looking a little bit more smooth these days, a little more seamless, a little less stuck. I don't know how to explain that. Just looking more normal, and we've secured a good bedtime for the kids. Olive can actually sleep through the night. All three are mobile. Frankie allows me to put him down, or he's happy in my carrier, as you can see right now. Yeah, it's just looking better these days, honestly. And I'm feeling more organized and on top of my game. And yeah, the Lord has just lifted a little bit off my shoulders, I feel like. And I'm finally in the swing of 3 kids. I'm like, all right, I can do this. So anyways, this is kind of a little bit of a catch up and going through the last 9 months, kind of things that are going through my head. Super thankful for it, but also thankful kind of to be past it too, and to move on and to actually start getting out of the house and taking the kids out and about. It's just, I feel like this is stepping into part 2 of this next season. It's not really like a next chapter per se, because they're still so young, but it does feel like a part 2, and it's great. And I feel like we're all here and we are thriving, and it's just going great. So anyways, I hope that this gave you guys some encouragement. If you're currently in the trenches of motherhood, I see you. God sees you. You are most definitely not alone. Sometimes I would wonder, does anybody else have it this hard? Holy cow. How does anybody keep having kids? But I assure you, things get better. Nothing stays forever, and the days are long and the years are short. And I've already seen that in my very small amount of motherhood that the Lord has allowed me to have. Anyways, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.